Thanks a lot for staying with us. Of course, we told you that we would be talking about a class action lawsuit that's been filed against AirTran Airways. Marlon Kimpson, an attorney with Motley Rice law firm, is here to tell us more about this class action suit. Marlon, great to see you.
Good. Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about this class action lawsuit. A local teacher planned a trip with some friends, I imagine, to Cancun, and her trip got canceled. She wasn't told about it, and she's mad.
Correct.
And she has taken some action.
Correct. She actually planned a trip with her family.
Sure.
She booked this ticket months in advance, and it wasn't until she just unilaterally decided to go on AirTran's website that she found out 22 days before her trip that the flight had been canceled and AirTran was pulling out of Charleston. Now, that wouldn't have been so bad if they had contacted her directly as soon as they decided to pull out of Charleston, or had she been given an immediate refund or some assistance with rebooking the flight. But as far as we know, none of those things were made available immediately.
We tried to reach AirTran for comment, and we have not heard from them. But this is a class action lawsuit because there is the thought that other people may have experienced something similar as a result of AirTran leaving Charleston.
Correct. My office has been contacted by several people who've had similar circumstances, and what our complaint alleges that if you purchased a ticket for travel anytime after they ceased service, which is December 4th, until the time we filed our class action lawsuit, which was March 22nd of 2010, last week, then and you have suffered damages as a result of this reckless behavior on the part of the carrier, then you may be entitled, assuming we get the class certified, to compensation.
Sandy Mallard, who is the plaintiff, she says, and I quote, "I owe it to them," meaning her student, she's a teacher, "to stand up for myself no matter how intimidating the opponent." And she says that because she's a teacher and she's fighting big industry, big AirTran, a low-cost carrier, but this is a really mighty foe.
Correct. And that's why she came to my law firm, Motley Rice. We stand up for people against big corporations who have, in this case, mistreated full, fair customers without any apparent reason. This is a classic example of what not to do in business, and how appropriate that she's a teacher. So this will be a teachable moment for her students.
How do you respond to those who might say, this is a frivolous lawsuit, she will not win, this is something that happens in business, sometimes companies go out of business and they're not able to serve the client, and that she was able to make the trip eventually, that she should just go ahead and use this as a learning experience, that sometimes this happens?
Sure. What should have happened in this case? They had her email address. As late as November 5th, they emailed a confirmation itinerary. They knew on October 9th that they were pulling out. So there's no excuse for not being able to contact her and her family. The second thing is she got no assistance for rebooking. And what happens, and most of your viewers will understand, the later you book an airplane ticket, in her case she had to rebook another ticket on another carrier 22 days in advance. Well, the incremental increase in costs was to the tune of $4,500. So at the very minimum, she should get $4,500, which is the value of the increase in cost in ticket. That is a hard dollar damage figure. And we intend to remedy that wrong through this class action lawsuit.
Is there not a clause when she signs the agreement or pays her money that the airline might not be able to, may have to cancel the flight for some catastrophic reason, an act of nature? Is that not a part of a clause in the agreement?
There are tickets, and they're called contract of carriage, but the clause reads to the effect that they will make every effort to rebook her or whomever the purchaser is on another airline.
Did AirTran do that?
Now, it's my understanding that AirTran has no agreement with other carriers. So, example, I'm on the way to Seattle right now. If my Delta flight is canceled, they normally rebook me on U.S. Air because they have an agreement amongst each other to cooperate in that behavior, in that way. In this case, it's my understanding that AirTran has no agreement, and that may be one of the reasons why they were able to provide lower cost tickets.
Wow. As a result of that agreement possibly not being in place. But you have not, in fact, heard from AirTran. Are you surprised by that?
Well, not really. We filed our class action lawsuit last week. They have 30 days to answer. I am very interested in hearing what their reasons are for not doing some of the things that we think that in good, sound business practices should have been done.
The possibility of more people coming on board, what do you advise people if they have experienced something similarly? Should they contact you, or
Sure.
what should they do?
Sure. It is a class action lawsuit, so we're going to be representing multiple people, multiple claims. We've been advised that there are hundreds of people that fall under this situation. And so I would advise them to call my office, 843-216-9000, and ask for me, and we'll gather the prosecute the claim.
Certainly, we know that Motley Rice has been involved in some very big lawsuits over the years. The tobacco litigation is the one that certainly comes to mind.
Sure. We don't shy away from tackling corporations who behave negligently at the expense of average American citizens. We will marshal all of our resources to help people who have been treated this way, in this manner. So this is not unusual for our firm. Fortunately, we serve the Charleston area, but we're international as well.
Sure.
So she has a good lawyer, not just me, but my colleagues at Motley Rice, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that these wrongs are made right.
All right, Marlon Kimpson with Motley Rice, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.